Matvei Michkov just scored an incredible goal in the VHL. I'm not sure if this move has an official name. I call it the Kucherov. It's sort of a modified version of that at least. Kucherov fully fakes the shot and just lets the puck go through the goalie's 5-hole. Michkov's was sort of a more transparent poke check, but it still worked, obviously. And for those who don't know, by most accounts, Michkov is the number 2 rated draft pick for next year's draft. And I want to do profiles of all the big players. Bedard is obviously the highest rated draft pick, but given that he's playing in Russia, I think people will be a little less familiar with Matvei Michkov. So Michkov is playing for SKA Niva. Now, that's not a KHL team. He's playing in the VHL right now, which is sometimes called the Supreme Hockey League. That's the second highest level of pro hockey in Russia, and the best comparison would be the AHL in North America, although not all VHL teams have KHL affiliates. Michkov's team is affiliated with St. Petersburg. He's played less than 20 games at that highest level, and this year he's mostly been with SKA Neva St. Petersburg, which again is the AHL equivalent. This year, playing with men in 7 games, he has 7 goals and 2 assists for 9 points, which is pretty remarkable, especially given the fact that he's only 17. However, this kid's been lighting it up for a while. He set goal scoring records in the MHL, which is sort of like the Russian Junior League, like the CHL of Russia, getting the record for most points by a 16-year-old, which was formerly held by Kucherov. Funny. I haven't seen as much of Michkov as I have of the North American prospects, obviously, but he's extremely highly touted. Sportsnet did a really nice draft profile on the kid, which I'll link down below. But he's described as being a pure goal scorer with a very high degree of offensive awareness, like a Patrick Kane type of player. That being said, he's a clear consensus number 2 behind Connor Bedard, but according to Bob McKenzie, he has nearly the same offensive upside. There are, however, some concerns about his skating in particular. The weird thing about Michkov is that he's actually signed with the KHL and is actually under contract until the 2025-26 season. That's like an extra 3 years that he won't be available to whichever team drafts him. However, I'm almost wondering at this point if that couldn't be somewhat of a benefit. We've seen that Shane Wright has been struggling with the Kraken, and right now their only option is to send him down to the CHL, where he's going to dominate and not develop like they'd hope. That, or, of course, keep trying with the Kraken. Michkov, however, will be playing with men. He'll eventually make it up to the KHL, if not this season. And the coach of St. Petersburg apparently really wants that team to be as close to an NHL club as possible, and has also paid lip service to the fact that they think they can and will get Michkov NHL ready. So a very interesting situation for the kid. What I'm wondering, how much is that contract worth? Anyway, have you seen any of Michkov? How does he compare to Bedard? The main talk for 3rd overall is Adam Fantilli. Interestingly, both Bedard and Michkov are smaller. Fantilli 6'3". Final question. You want to go to the NHL. What's your route? Do you go through the NCAA, the CHL? Do you play overseas? Let me know down below.